Ahoy plant lovers. Today I'm doing a little video on orchids. Been doing a little bit more acquiring of orchids lately, and I just wanted to show my experience and how my orchids have been growing and the strange conditions I think they've been growing in. They've been growing well, and I thought orchids were going to be harder than this. I didn't expect to be able to just kind of leave them alone and let them grow and expect them to do well. But here they are. The first one is this Phalaenopsis. It's just hanging in this tree, and this tree gets some good coverage. It's very dense, a dense canopy. And this is probably the orchid that is not doing the best out of all of them. This one is not in the greenhouse, and you can see it does have a lot of good root growth. Roots coming down out of the bottom and all around the sides, and that's just sphagnum moss with some orchid bark on the bottom. I'm actually going to bring this one into the greenhouse today because tonight is the last decently warm night we're going to have for a little while. It's about to snow all across America, and it's going to drop into the high 30s here. I'm on the west side of the river in Jacksonville, and it gets a little bit colder here than it does in the rest of Jacksonville. So, oh yeah, look at all those good roots right there. But the sphagnum moss is pretty dry. I don't think it gets a good rain. I mean, it doesn't get watered well until it rains. But here's another one. This is, what is this? The Sick Rocket. It's a hybrid. This one was really root bound. You see the roots haven't really taken off in its new position yet. I've just moved this one. This one has a flower spike. It's doing really well. This is another Phalaenopsis or something like that. And it's probably the orchid that is doing the best in this greenhouse. And this is probably the hardiest. Oh, there goes the lizard. The hardiest type and the easiest type. You'll see them at the grocery stores and everything. And we are getting a flower spike, so that's cool. It's taking a long time to open up those flowers. I don't know how long it usually takes, but let's see what else we have. There was an orchid show, and I got one of these guys. This is the most interesting one in my opinion. It was just sitting in a pot with water and sphagnum moss at the bottom, just soaked. And I think yesterday I lifted it up out of the water and put a rock down there, so it's not sitting in the water, but it's definitely getting a lot more water and pretty much like in a pond condition, and it's doing okay. It's completely healthy. It's dormant, but it's growing. It's getting bigger. Not showing any signs of yellowing or dying off. It's just sitting in water too. It reminds me of this Vitarifolium I have over here. This long pendant anthurium that's just kind of sitting in the water, and maybe it doesn't look amazing, but it's just been sitting in this pot without any holes in it, drainage holes, and it's doing okay. But that's what it reminds me of. There's also this orchid over here that was kind of a rehab orchid, and it's not doing that great. I probably need to adjust that one where it is in the greenhouse. I got this new Vanda orchid from a local place, EFG. It's a nice like red orange color, kind of peachy melony. But this one has no substrate. It's just all water absorption through the roots, and I'll have to find a better place, probably along one of the corner posts for that, so it can kind of grow along the corner post. But I really like that orchid. Okay, we have one over here. This is the coconut orchid, and frogs were making their home in here. I have some pictures on our Instagram of Cuban frogs, and I don't know if it was another variety of frog too, but a brown frog as well. They would like perch in there. I don't know how they got up in there. They probably jumped from one of these stenolobum leaves into it, or they hopped down from the dragon tree. But here's another orchid. It's just mounted back here, and you can see the roots have started growing out. Those are fairly new roots. I've been watching it like a hawk. I'm really excited about that orchid to bloom eventually. I don't think it'll bloom this year. Where else? Where do we have some other orchids? We have what do they call these, lady slippers or something? These mottled guys. He's just in a pot over there. This is another one that's very interesting. It's actually flowering. It's doing great. This is a pot, and it's a mixture of orchid bark and sphagnum, and it also has a billieti, beate root. This is an aerial root from the beate, and that thing is probably rooted so well into that pot, but this gets some direct drippage 4 times a day, and you know, it's got grass growing, clovers or whatever those are, growing out of it, and it is just really doing well. And that's like pretty much a constant drip of water. You can see the glad hands leaves are wet from the misters, and they just kind of all filter down through here. And at one point there wasn't this much coverage around the pot, and it was just getting really saturated. I was a little bit concerned about it, but it was doing fine. So I mean, orchids can take a lot more water than I thought they could. You know, you hear like put 1 ice cube of water for a month or something. I don't know what the normal saying is, but I have not found any of that to be true so far. This orchid down here, I don't know what type that is. I got it at the orchid show as well, and I took the label out. Oh wait, there it is. That's an